What's good with it, peeps? It's your boy Young Nello here with another video, and in this one I want to talk about something else that I have, that I'm real familiar with, actually, and I've been seeing it. I've seen uh, there's been a few YouTubers have made a few videos about this in just this week alone, and what I want to talk about is anxiety and mental health. You know, I started having my anxiety issues when I was 13 years old, and from there it just escalated because I started to do drugs, and that just it messed with me like even worse, And so I was on this medication for about like 3 years. I stopped taking it because it really wasn't doing shit for me. I was I was already doing drugs, man. So that had me like in another mind state, right there, in another state of mind. And my anxiety, man, it never went away. It didn't matter what drug I did, man. That's you know what I mean. Like, even when I was high, like the anxiety was always there. It was just like being like um, uh, it was minimized, but it was still there. And when I sobered up, man, that shit, you know what I mean. It was in full effect, you know. So if you're somebody who struggles with anxiety issues, you know, whether it's like slight anxiety, like you get anxiety attacks, or you get like a panic attack, or if you have like real like how was it, like bone crippling anxiety to the point where you don't want to go and step outside of your home because you're afraid of what people are gonna say about you or think about you. You know what I mean? And if you're one of those people who take a small thing and you blow it up in your head, and you know what I mean, it's not even real. It's something that you make up in your head, and that's because your mind is working against you. You know what I mean? It's running a million miles a minute, and you don't know what to think, and you let that doubt, it builds up, and you get paranoid. Like that's the kind of anxiety that I had, and I still have it at times, but it's real small now, cause I always try to keep myself preoccupied with all kinds of shit, Either if it's my kennel right here, or I'm working out, or I'm studying, or um, or if I'm playing some kind of sport, And so, if you do have anxiety, the main things that I could tell you that really help me out and still help me, because I still have anxiety, is to one, if you're doing drugs, man, that is going to make it worse. And depending on the kind of drug you're gonna do, it's gonna fuck with your mind a lot more too, and it's gonna make your anxiety a lot worse as well. So if you really want to help yourself and you have anxiety issues, and and let's say like you even have a mental health issue, stop that shit, because it's only making it worse. Weed, it'll make it worse too, man, because it gets to a point where weed don't do anything either, especially if you're smoking all day every day. Like, man, your tolerance, it goes up, and in my opinion, at that point, it's not benefiting you. You know what I mean? You're just smoking out of habit, So number one, the main thing I can tell you is stop doing things that are affecting it in a negative way. You know what I mean? And number two is to surround yourself with people who really care about you, you know, like your family, you know, or your close friends, or whoever it is that you really feel like is in your corner, you know, and you gotta surround yourself with them. You know what I mean? And number three is, you know, you, is you gotta keep yourself real busy. I mean, like real busy. Like, don't give your mind room to fuck with you. You know what I mean? If you like to go to the gym, go hard at the gym. If you have a dog, you know, walk the shit out of your dog. It's gonna benefit you and your dog. You know what I mean? If you have a passion for cooking or whatever it is, you know, just really preoccupy yourself with that, okay? And another thing I can tell you is, if you really want to help yourself and you really want to better yourself and your anxiety is really fucking with you, really, and be honest with yourself, do everything you can to help yourself out. You know what I mean? Like, sit there and examine everything you do in a day, okay? And then just sift out all the shit that you really don't need. You know what I mean? All the behavior that is detrimental and not beneficial. You know what I mean? If you have anxiety and whatnot, man, like that shit, like it makes you real moody. You know what I mean? And if you have some other kind of mental health issue, like it's the same thing, you know, because you're gonna go from 0 to 100 real quick. You know? And another thing that I can tell you, man, is just keep yourself humble, you know? I try not to keep any resentment, you know, inside you, or any bad or negative energy, because that's gonna wear down on you too. You know what I mean? If you really want the best for yourself, you know, and you're tired of feeling anxious and depressed and all this shit, but but ultimately, if you do have a mental health issue, or you think you do have a mental health issue, I'm gonna stress this, because I'm no psychiatrist, I'm no psychologist, I'm no therapist. I went and I seen a psychologist for 3 years. 3 years, a licensed psychologist, not a therapist. Okay? And that's the best investment I could have ever made in my life. The best. It helped me out way better than a little pill could ever do. You know what I mean? So if you suspect that you have a mental health illness, go and see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Stay away from a therapist, man, because they don't know what they're talking about. A psychologist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Stay away from therapists. All right. So if you really do suspect you have something, man, go get the help you need, because there's people that are gonna help you. Okay. Yeah, it costs money. Everything does nowadays. Okay. But if you really want to help yourself, man, and you suspect you have something, go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. You know. And then if you want to, you can follow these tips that I'm giving you. Surround yourself with people who really want the best for you and care about you. Try to preoccupy yourself as much as you can, so you don't give your mind any room to go and fuck with you. Alright? And number three, you know, like, I really try to, like, well, how's it, like, stop negative behavior that is gonna, like, make you resentful, you know. And another thing that I will say is just try to keep yourself, like, in a good mood. Yeah, it's gonna be hard when you have anxiety and you're depressed all the time, man. But try to keep your soul clean. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, and this I will tell you, you're gonna feel a hell of a lot better yourself if you know you ain't doing no harm to anybody. You're not putting off any bad vibe on anybody or in the world. You know how you're doing is minding your business, and you want to get better for yourself, and that's gonna bring you some kind of solace right there, because that shows that you honestly just want the best for yourself, and you want to help yourself, you want to get better. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm no psychologist, I'm no psychiatrist. I seen one for 3 years, a licensed psychologist, and these are just tips that I'm telling you that really helped me out. You know what I mean? So, and the mind, man, it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool. It could work with you or against you. It's a ugly and sad thing if it works against you. It's a beautiful thing if it works with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say on this video. Me, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell y'all later, and stay up and be easy. And right here my kennel does too, man, but they all passed out though. It's my girl, she woke up. But and I'm gonna start another channel that's based around my dogs and my kennel, and that's where I'm gonna be giving tips, you know. And if you're starting a kennel and you're into dogs too, I'm gonna share everything I've learned over the years with dogs, and it's all for free. All you gotta do is just subscribe. You know what I'm saying? What's better than that? So until next time, man, y'all stay up and y'all be easy.